Hi everyone! Let's keep building this CNC machine. We are going to continue with my plan of not having a plan. I'm making decisions along the way, designing parts, cutting and bolting and everything. So the next step involves this. We have here 4 2-meter pieces of 30-30, the same as these ones in here, and I will do now another square to lift this a bit so I can put material below it, because I've designed something for it. It will be clear in the end. So now that we have all this stock of aluminum, let's do some cuts. Cuts. Well, all that we have done until now is just cutting and drilling, just to get all the parts to make that secondary frame that is going to go below the main frame. And I've got also some spacers to make some room between the two frames, so I can put parts in between that can be clamped, and it's going to be really cool. So let's put this below the other one. And spacer, and this one is going to be tricky. Well, now this feels much sturdier. I think looks pretty good. Pretty spider! There is a spider in my table. There is not spider in my table. Spider! Now I'm just betting for this to be flat. There are a few parts that are still on the printers. So we are now gonna start putting the motors in here and a couple of motors, belts, and some bearings with some spacers. and we'll see how it goes. Woo! And now that the motors are on the side plates, I will need this kind of GT2 pulley mixed with a bearing that makes an idler, so the belt can go like this. But I don't have 4 of these. I only have 2. So I will have to make some with these bearings in here, these washers, these bolts, and these kind of side washers slash spacers. So let's do it. When you put the bearings in, as you can see, they fill the gap between this and the bearing, so the bearings can spin freely even when there is a washer in there. I should put a crane in here, something with a hook and, you know. And as you may be able to see, the pulley is not aligned with the idlers, so I will need to design and print some spacers, so these ones are a bit on the outside, so spacers! Well, and this was going to be a quick and dirty project, with almost no 3D printed parts. Yeah, just a couple of them, and this is where we are now. Okay, this is the plate that goes in here, so I will bolt it into position now. And as always, I'm struggling with the assembly sequence. But I will start by mounting this motor bracket here in the back and keep going from there. One thing that I didn't thought of is how am I going to fasten this bolt inside there? And you sometimes say in the comments, pretty clever, Ivan, pretty clever. Not all the time, not all the time. And this one in here is too big, but can be fastened from the outside. We are not even near what we need. But I had to try. I need a lathe. Anyone? Does anyone sell a second-hand lathe that I can use? Lend me one. Well, this has been one approach. I will show you another one that could be used too. And this one took a fifth of the time or less. So let's see approach number one. Pretty functional. And approach number two. So no complaints. And now I should put the linear guides in here. And I did put a couple of nuts as spacers in these screws in the bottom, so these don't come out, because that's not a funny joke. That's not a funny joke. No, no. And now we are going to put a lead screw in here with two bearings, one on top and one on the bottom. And this is a partially failed print, but I think I will be able to use it anyway. Well, these two are now one, and the lead screw and accessories. We will need to put this one in here. Okay, this lead screw is not long enough. So I have another lead screw, but the thread pitch is much smaller, so I will have to change the nut also. Okay, let's try now to screw the blocks. Now this goes up and down, so I will put a motor in here, like this one. Well, this thing has Z-axis movement. And well, as the last thing this week, because I don't have much more time, I will at least show you how the tool sits in here. And this is the tool. I bought this more than 2 years ago. I did print this part like ages ago in one of the printers that I did build myself. And this tool might finally like cut something or mill something or trim something. We'll see. This one should sit in here, and it should sit flush in here. And I forgot to add the embedded nuts on this block in here. So I will just show you how it looks in here. That's all that I will have time to do. Well, I think this looks quite good. I think there is potential in this. I have to reprint this part in here because it's bent, because it's a failed print. But I wanted to show you how it should be on the machine. And well, I need to do a few tweaks in here in there, but I will keep going with this design. And well, that's it for this week. This thing looks, it wobbles because the bed is not flat. Don't worry, this thing is really stiff. And I've read many of your comments. You are wondering about the wasteboard. I think the clearance issue is resolved now. And I see little small issues here and there. Don't worry, we will tackle them. And I've read about you wanting me to put lead screws on this thing. And about the files, well, it depends on how well it works. If I deem it shareable, it will be shared. If you are one of my Patreon, you will have the files whenever you want. So we'll see how that goes. So that's it for this week. So don't forget to share my videos all over the place, Twitter, Instagram, MySpace, wherever you want. And thanks a lot, guys, for supporting me through Patreon. It really helps a lot with these videos and these projects. Please consider supporting me on Patreon so we can keep doing this kind of stuff. And now please go and make something!